channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today we're doing a chit chat get ready with me. Long time no talk. It's been a hot minute since I posted on my channel. So I recently on Wednesday posted my bachelorette recap, which I'll get into a second. But I just really wanted to come back and sit down, play with makeup, and talk to you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And you're gonna see the ridiculous amount of primer that I use on my face. I just want to get into why I was absent from social media. I was off social media for about 2 weeks, and unfortunately that's because my grandfather passed away. So I had to fly across the country back home, and everything that goes into a funeral, unfortunately. So just with the timing of everything, it just so happened to be 2 weeks off of social media, and I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. I'm gonna expand on that a little bit more. So with this being like my first beauty video back, I just wanted to do a get ready with me. And this also kind of ties into, like, I guess the theme of this video, with it being like about social media and kind of a little bit about anxiety, is that I love watching get ready with me's. They're one of my favorite videos to watch, but I feel like I rarely film them because it's kind of the same reason for vlogging. Like, I feel like I don't have anything that interesting to say for someone to sit down and watch like a 30-minute video of me just talking. So that's kind of where I get into my head a little bit about things, and that's why I don't really vlog or anything either, because I'm like, I think we all feel our lives are a little bit dull. So yes, I'm forcing myself outside of my comfort zone today by doing this get ready with me video. Yes, I do put 3 different kind of primers on my face. I have dry skin, so I'm not going to be talking a whole lot about the products that I'm using. So if you have a question about something specific, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try my best to answer them. So yeah, I always want to film a get ready with me, but I never know what to talk about. So today I kind of have a little bit of the subject of social media. And I feel like regardless if you're a beauty influencer, I hate that, I prefer to call myself a content creator. Whether you're somebody that posts on social media for content, or whether you're somebody that just enjoys by watching videos or scrolling through Instagram, I think it's something that we can all relate to. So before I hop into that, let's see how many times I get distracted. I've yet to eat anything today, which is bad. I like have no food in my house. I'm about to start drinking this energy drink, so things are gonna get interesting. But yeah, my first video back was my bachelorette recap. So if you're not familiar, if you're new to my channel, if you haven't seen any of my other videos before, hi, hello, welcome. I'm primarily a beauty channel. I really like to teach makeup to people, so I also, sidebar again, have a Beauty 101 series that I'm doing. So my next video up on Monday is going to be how to blend your eyeshadow. I'll insert a picture in the video so you can see the look that I'm going to be teaching you how to do. So I started that series, so I have a playlist for it down below. Be sure to check it out. And whenever The Bachelor comes on, it is a show that is, I guess you could say, a guilty pleasure. It is something that I love to hate watch normally. So I just, the past couple of seasons, have just been posting recaps, aka my opinions that probably people don't care about, just because it's fun for me to sit down and discuss it. So if you're interested and you've been watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette this season so far, be sure to check that playlist out. It'll be linked down below, and I'll also have the recap for episode 3 linked up above for you if you want to go and check it out. Obviously, I talk about it more in that video, but I really like Hannah as a bachelorette. I have yet to be bored. It's only 3 episodes in, but I've yet to be bored, which speaks volumes, because ever since Ari's season, it's been nothing but boring. Other shows that I'm really into, I still stand hard on MTV, which is ridiculous because I'm 30. But I don't feel alone because Lisa Bug, aka Lisa Schwartz, was talking about how she still watches the challenge and she still watches shows on MTV. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not alone then. But yeah, I love the challenge. It just ended, so I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? Also, the season finale of Drag Race is on tomorrow, which was actually yesterday. I'm filming today on Wednesday, so when this video goes up Friday, the season finale of Drag Race was yesterday. So what am I gonna do with my time? I don't know. Maybe find better ways to be productive and like read a book or something. But what are some of your guilty pleasure shows? I would love to know. Personally, for Drag Race, I'm hoping that either Evie or Brooklyn wins. I love them. I love Nina West. I think that she's amazing. I wish she went further in the competition, but you know, life happens. I want to play with color today, so I'm going to take a second to figure out what the heck I want to do, and then I'll be back to finish this conversation. I love being awkward on camera. It's great. Right, we are back. We are primed. I need to be up a little bit more. We are back and primed with our lids. I just used my Morphe primer and I carved my brows out. I don't know why I'm saying this, but anyways, I think I'm gonna go for like an orange red moment, which is so not me. I'm not a warm tone person, so love that. By the way, when I mentioned my 101 series, what is something that you would like to see in that? If you are a beginner in makeup, or even if you've been doing makeup for a while, what is something that you would like to learn how to do, or a technique you would learn how to do? What is something that maybe you are struggling to find on YouTube to learn how to do? I would love to hear from you. Right now, I just have like how to work with bright colors and everyday glam. So I would really like to hear from you guys what you would like to see in the 101 series. I plan on doing the full face, so covering like foundation, contouring, highlighting, all of that. But if there's something else more specific that you feel is missing, or that you are struggling to find to, you know, on YouTube, or something that you're just struggling to master personally, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if you guys could also be so kind to let me know, what kind of videos do you enjoy watching most on YouTube from the beauty community? I would love to get your input for that. I tend to do a lot of tutorials if you're new here, just because I love teaching. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe for sure. But if there's something else you would like to see from me, let me know. But yes, back to TV shows. I also really like The Bold Type on Freeform. I love that show. I also am obsessed with Younger. I know that that's coming back on, so I'll have that to watch. And I mainly started watching that show because I'm a huge Hilary Duff stan, and anything that she does, I will watch it. So does anybody else watch A Bold Type or Younger? What are your thoughts on that? And also, let me know, like, what shows are you guys into? Because I'm always looking for new stuff just to have on in the background and to fall in love with. Game of Thrones, of course, ended. I'm sure everybody's sick of hearing about it. But yeah, the ending, I feel like people wouldn't be so upset by how the show ended if they didn't rush it. Like, if it could have the same exact ending, but if the season was a full season long, or even 8 episodes long, or 10 episodes long, I feel like it would have gone over better. What did you think of the season finale if you watched it? I would love to know. I know that there are people that said that they liked how the show ended, but I don't know, I'm curious to know if you liked how the show ended, like why? Like, what did you like about it? Just because I'm curious what parts you were happy with. I also get not wanting to say, because you don't want people to argue with you because you like something, but I'm just really curious to know, like, what did you like about it? All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is social media. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is social media. So I just want to just share my experience from a content creator perspective. So for me, like, there's constant pressure to post all the time. So it was really interesting taking like a 2-week break, Not so much from YouTube, I would say more so from Instagram is where I'm more coming like at this from. So for me, Instagram is such a challenge, and I feel like it is for a lot of people. If you're a content creator, like, you know, like Instagram has such high expectations for their users. They want you to be posting, by the way, if you want the keys to be successful on Instagram, supposedly this is what they are. They want you to be posting photos a minimum of 2 to 3 times a week. They want you to be using your stories every single day. They want you to be posting Instagram videos at least once a week, but preferably twice a week. So you're already looking at 5 days of posting content onto your profile in a week. They also would prefer if you posted to IGTV 1 to 2 times a week. So that's literally it, like every single day, 7 days worth of posting content in a different form on top of posting to your stories every day. And they're saying that people that do that is who they're favoring and who is going to grow. It doesn't matter if you use what hashtags you're using, what kind of content you're producing, as long as you're pumping out the most content, Instagram's going to give you attention. And I think that that is so wrong, especially in the beauty industry, because it takes a lot of creative effort to come up with looks that we're going to do or different concepts. And you are just asking people to burn out by posting 7 days worth of content every single week in order to grow and be successful and be seen. It's just so messed up to me. I really, like, anyways, that's more content creator gripe about it. But for me, it was really refreshing not posting for 2 weeks. At first, it felt great because I wasn't constantly worrying about like, oh my gosh, what content am I gonna put up? What do I need to think of to put up? Is this gonna do well? What hashtags do I need to research? All this other stuff. Like, I didn't have to think about anything, and it was amazing. However, and I also think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I was distracted by a lot, obviously with the funeral and everything. So once I came back home last Wednesday, and I was just so exhausted that I was like, I'm taking the rest of the week. I'll start posting again next week. I started getting anxious around the weekend. That's when reality set in, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's been like 2 weeks since I posted. What am I doing? What's happening? Am I going to completely lose my following? How's it going to be when I come back? Am I going to be completely shadow banned? Like, I don't know what's happening. I started freaking out. I was thinking about doing sparkle on my lid, but I think I'm going to pass. So anyways, I started getting anxiety about not having posted, which is just interesting because I feel like this is something that a lot of people can relate to. Like, we feel the constant need to share and be posting stuff on social media. So let me know what your thoughts on that are. But what I realized and came to the conclusion is, if I wasn't a content creator, I don't think I'd ever post on social media, honestly. Like, Facebook is the only like truly personal account that I have, and I never post on there. I never go on there. I don't really like Facebook. I'm probably scroll on Twitter the most, and then Instagram is second. But what I came to realize from not posting personally myself is that I don't think I would ever truly post on Instagram if I wasn't a content creator. Like, I feel like I would just be a lurker and would just, you know, lurk and creep around and support my friends and like other people's content. But I don't think I'd really be active on social media at all, which I feel is super weird to say as a millennial, because everybody likes to peg us as being obsessed with social media, all this other stuff. So what are your thoughts if you're like in the 25 to, I don't know, 35 age range? Are you a super active poster on social media? What are your thoughts on it? Do you feel pressure to post on there constantly and share what you're up to? Another gripe that I have with social media, and more so being in the beauty community, is unrealistic expectations. I absolutely hate Facetune. I think it needs to go away. I think it needs to die. I just feel like it just spreads such unrealistic expectations, and I feel like it's really damaging, especially to the younger generation, when you have like teens are obsessed with Instagram. And it's more so worse than when I grew up. When I grew up, they would always talk about like, oh, the pressure of the magazines and like photoshopping people's bodies and all this other stuff. It's the same thing on Instagram, only it's more easily accessible. And I think it's more damaging because you see these influencers or content creators that are just regular, normal people. So I feel like that makes the pressure to look perfect and to, you know, emulate a certain kind of lifestyle even more. So what are your thoughts on that? When I say Facetune, I have no problems with like simple basic editing. I edit my photos in the slightest way on my Instagram. I don't alter my eyeshadow. I don't alter my makeup. I leave my real skin in. I don't really edit out blemishes or anything unless if I have like a huge cystic acne spot that I feel like is distracting to the photo. Then I try to edit that out with the blemish removal on PicMonkey, but other than that, like I don't edit my skin in my photo. I don't edit my eyeshadow. The only editing I do is to fix the lighting. So I basically edit my exposure in my photos, and that's it. I don't edit anything else. But I know it's frustrating for me as a content creator because brands set the tone. They set the tone for the consumer. They set the tone for people that are just looking at their products. They set the tone for us content creators, because if we want a brand to notice us, the best thing to do is to go to their page, see what kind of posts that they're reposting, because that's the vibe that they're trying to, you know, get on with. And it's really discouraging for me. Well, I want to say discouraging. It's really disappointing for me as a content creator to see brands favoring people that are clearly photoshopping their makeup and photoshopping colors, photoshopping shapes, using Facetune to completely edit their photos. And you know, you have James Charles running around that Facetune is an art form, which, you know, it is. It takes a lot of skill to be able to completely change your entire face. But I feel like it's extremely misleading because you are putting out there something, you are putting something so false out there, and you are leaving an impression on like 12 to 14-year-olds, or even girls younger than that, that think that they need plastic surgery because, oh, look at James Charles, look at how his nose looks, or, you know, whatever. And it's just putting such a negative, in my opinion, a negative effect on people's body image when somebody has completely altered the shape of their face, the shape of their body. You know, you have people enhancing their boobs, enhancing their butt, making their waist smaller, and it's just too accessible to the everyday consumer that I think it gets confusing for people on what is real and what isn't real. And I have a big issue with that. And it's just really discouraging for me to see brands promoting that even further. Like I said, photoshopping your body is nothing new. It's literally been around for decades. But for me, I guess what draws the line is when people are just blatantly photoshopping their makeup on. Like, say this wasn't looking as bright as it was, and I go into Facetune and I completely color over my eyeshadow. Like, and it's so obvious as a content creator, as somebody that spends time doing their makeup, using similar products that these people are using, somebody that is into photography, somebody that knows about editing photos, and just seeing the blatant Photoshop just bothers me. It also really irks me when brands post photos of people's makeup where they edit their skin. So like they have no pores, and I get that some people argue that they do that so they're not distracting from the eyeshadow look, but it's like, are pores really that distracting? I don't know. It's just really a turn off to me to see brands only reposting super photoshopped, super edited. Like, it's clear that they didn't do that makeup themselves and that they just took what they had and super enhanced it in Photoshop. It's just, that's my pet peeve. It bothers me because it doesn't come across as authentic, And I feel like there are real artists that aren't getting noticed now because we're refusing to set our standards to be that low, to have to edit our makeup on to get noticed. I feel like your pure talent should be able to get you noticed. Like, you shouldn't have to Photoshop your skin and your face to be unrecognizable for brands to notice you. I also feel like it sets a really negative tone for the consumer, because you're going to have a consumer purchase these products. They're not going to be getting the same results as the person you reposted because they photoshopped their face. And it's just overall discouraging to content creators and for consumers. That's my rant on that. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I feel like not a lot of people care about that. So that's just kind of my gripe with social media, I guess, and it's not going anywhere. Like I said, editing photos to the extreme has been around for decades now. Nothing's really going to change. I just wish that brands could be held a little bit more accountable and would favor more unedited photos, I guess I could say, because that's the realistic result. It's also pretty telling when you have somebody post a picture on Instagram and they're like, I did a video on this, and the look in the video is completely different than what's on their Instagram page. I don't know. I don't know who people are trying to fool, but that's my frustration. Moving along. Alrighty, now that we are back after our contoured and bronze, I'm gonna add some highlights now. So movies, what are some good movies that are out there? Has anybody seen Aladdin? Because I don't know if it's just me, but Beauty and the Beast, I loved it. Okay, I thought it was amazing. Cinderella, I thought was okay. But I really truly love Beauty and the Beast. And I was super excited for Aladdin to come out because I feel like most kids that grew up in the 90s, like, your favorite Disney movies were Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. But the previews just made it look so, like, cheesy. So I don't know if it's worth seeing it in theaters or not. So if you saw it, what did you think of it? Because I would love to know. Back to video ideas. I saw Nikki Tutorials did a random numbers pick my makeup video, and that looks fun. So I think that that's something I'm gonna look into doing. But what else would you like to see? I don't really do a lot of challenges, but if there are challenges that you're interested in, that's something that I would definitely take into consideration. Now the tricky part, do I want to stick with the red and orange and have an all over look? Do I want to go with blue or yellow? Stick with primary colors. I think I'm just gonna, is it gonna look weird if I do red all over? I'm gonna fill my brows in while I think it over. So yeah, I guess I would like to get to know you guys a little bit more. I feel like these get ready with me's are a good way to have a chit chat conversation go back and forth instead of just me talking at the camera. So what are your favorite videos to watch on YouTube? What is stuff that you guys enjoy? What do you guys like to do in your free time? What kind of stuff are you into? I'm starting to get more into astrology. I got Kathleen Light's recommended The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need. So I got that. I need to start reading it. I think I got like 2 pages in and then I got interrupted and I haven't forced myself to sit back down and continue reading it. But what are some things that you guys are interested in? If you weren't familiar, I do have a different channel called Crystal Corner. It's new, it's still taking off, but over there I talk about crystals. Obviously, I'm gonna start talking more about astrology and what I'm learning because I think it's so fascinating. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to check it out. I also started picking up painting in my free time, which is something that I'm really glad I got into. I'm someone that growing up, I was always drawing, always coloring. Even when I was a teenager in high school, I was always sketching stuff. So my medium, I guess you could say, has always changed, and it, you know, turned into makeup as well for artistic expression, but I've really gotten into painting. So I started a new Instagram for that. It's called MakeupByMegB. It's linked down below. If you want to check it out, I think I'm going to be selling soon and starting commissions, but I was wondering if anyone watching has had experience, do you think it's just easier to sell on Etsy, or do you think it's better to just have your own personal website? What do you think is easier to sell on? I would love to know your experiences. Also, in the next couple of weeks, I am going to throw up an Amazon must-have, or just like everyday item must-have, because I don't know if everything is from Amazon, but most of it is. So I'm going to do that because I saw Raw Beauty Chrissy, I love her, post a video of Amazon products that she's been loving and that she's been into, or just household products that she's been into. And I think that that's really interesting because obviously on our channels we just talk about beauty so much. Nobody kind of talks about the everyday items. So I'm going to be throwing that up. Normally when I'm doing my Bachelor Talk series, that is always on Wednesdays, and normally I will post a beauty video on Mondays. However, if I have like a bonus video like that, or like I just have a bunch of content and I don't want to spread it out week by week, sometimes you'll get a surprise video. Like today, it's Friday and I decided to upload a video. So random Fridays videos will be up, but right now I'm mostly on Mondays and Wednesdays. And when Bachelorette is done, it will probably just still be Monday and Wednesdays for my uploading schedule. And I think I'm just gonna stick to this red on the bottom and just go for it. If you're curious, I'm just using the color Bitch from Thirsty and this bright orange from my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Those are the two colors I used today. What has been your favorite makeup purchase as of recent? I didn't use it today because I'm like, I need to start using other things, but the Game of Thrones collection from Urban Decay, like honestly, they did something with that. Like it's my favorite thing that I've bought in such a long time. And I don't think you necessarily have to be a fan of the show to enjoy it. I just think that the eyeshadow palette's so unique. Urban Decay is the first high-end brand that I ever fell in love with because they were so different. They were the first brand in Sephora to really have bright colors and stand out, and they weren't afraid to go outside of the typical, we're only gonna do nudes in our eyeshadow palette. So I have a lot of love for Urban Decay. I also really like that ABH has been getting more into colors. The Alyssa palette. I'm on a low buy, by the way, if you guys didn't know. I'm trying to like not spend money this year on makeup, but the Alyssa Edwards palette, I'm real tempted to get it. I'm interested to see how it compares to the James Charles palette, because the formulation in that isn't the best. So I would love to see how ABH compares to that palette. But yes, I'm curious, what kind of content are you guys into right now? Like, who are your top favorite YouTubers that you watch? I really love Jay Kissa. I think that she's amazing. Of course, she plays with color all the time, so it's a no-brainer that I love her. Who else have I been liking? Raw Beauty Christy, of course. I think that she is hilarious. Does anybody else watch from Trixie and Katya? Because they just filmed their 100th episode, and I can't wait to see what they frickin' do with that. Whew. Okay, I think I'm gonna put yellow on the waterline. If you're looking for an affordable option for liners, LA Girl came out with their Neon Shockwave liners. They're not the most pigmented. You definitely have to run it a couple times in your waterline, but they work. ColourPop also just came out with like a bunch of colored liners. My gripe of ColourPop, and this is like any brand that's not in stores, I wish that more of their line was in stores. I wish that everything they put out was out in Ulta, because I am definitely somebody that likes to go in person and swatch things, because I just can't buy online and I hate returning stuff online. It's such a hassle to me. So it's just so much easier if I can just go to Ulta or order it online and then return it to the store if I don't like it. Is anyone else that way? How do we feel about Jaclyn Hill's lipstick collection? Because I have mixed thoughts, because I love nudes, okay? I'm a very nude lip person. I tend to keep my excitement to my eyeshadow, not so much on my lips, but it is so hard. I've been discussing with my friend Kate, like, we're having such a hard time. It is such a struggle to nail down like what nude is gonna work, because I feel like she just needs to have like a lip swatch video with the different skin tones and like doing it live, because on camera, the edited pictures look different than how they looked when she's swatching it on video, how they looked when she was swatching them on her lips on Snapchat or on Instagram the other day. So it's just very confusing, and again, I wish that she was already going to be in stores. Like, hopefully she partners with Morphe or Ulta or something or Sephora and gets into store, because I would love to like see it in person, because I'm so finicky with needing to get like the perfect pinky nude. I don't like super brown nudes, but I also feel like everybody's disappointed that she's coming out with nudes, but it's Jaclyn Hill we're talking about. It would be actually off-brand if she didn't. Like, if she came out with something super colorful like that, wouldn't be her. So for me, it makes sense that she's coming out with these with these nude lipsticks. So what do you guys think? I feel like everybody in the community has mixed feelings on it. Everyone's divided. And I would also like to know, what did you guys think about the recent beauty blow up with James and Tati? I think it's really interesting. And I find that people's opinions on the matter vary depending on their age. So that's always super interesting. I'm gonna take my liner in Dragon Smoke by Urban Decay. This has like some purple sparkles and stuff in it, but I honestly just love the formulation of these liners because they're just so smudgy. Because I just don't want to have like a harsh line from liquid liner. So I just go in with an E36 brush and just smudge that around. So we just have a little bit of dimension. It just kind of floats into the shadow. All right, this right here is the finished look. I didn't blend my foundation down to my neck, but just now realizing this, but I'm not going anywhere today, so I guess it doesn't matter. I guess you could say the inspo was my nail polish, which was a cheap 98-cent nail polish from Walmart. In case you're curious, this is LA Colors in the shade 534. You definitely get what you pay for though, because I had to do 3 coats and up close it does not look that nice. But anyways, I guess that's what I was secretly inspired by. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today with this Get Ready With Me video. I feel like once I film a few more of these, it'll be a little bit less awkward. But yeah, let me know for sure what kind of content you would like to see from me next. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Maybe I should eat before I sit down and film things. Mental note for next time. Be sure to subscribe on your way out today if you aren't already. Turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when my videos go live. All my social media is linked down below if you want to keep up with me. I know a lot of you guys might be familiar with Luna. She doesn't come into this room because it's all hard floor and she's like terrified of walking on it. But if you would like to see more of her Instagram is linked down below, because I'm definitely also one of those dog moms. So yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. I hope to hear from you in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.